Hi, thanks so much for joining us. My name's Shannon. Today we're going to be talking about a fraction tool that is by far one of my most favorite fraction tools. I actually learned about this fraction tool from a colleague of mine, Mike Godfrey, during our webinar. We really talked about how can we help kids to get conceptual understanding with fractions, and who would have thought it was with something simple that costs very little, like cardstock. We have different shapes kind of cut out here in kind of a area model papers to kind of help kids to conceptualize. With fraction tiles, there oftentimes are stamped with the actual fraction itself, which is a great starting point. Eventually, you want kids to not be guessing and checking with the fraction tiles, but to actually look at the paper and kind of decide, knowing that if this is the whole and I put this on top, how big is our orange piece? Most kids would say that that is half. It's very interesting. If you just put this size piece on side of the whole, we ask them what's the size of that piece? Oftentimes, because kids tell us is 1/2, they sometimes just think mathematically that's got to make sense. It's got to be a third. The nice part about this tool is that you can layer it on top of each other for kids to simplify fractions and see equivalent fractions. It's really great at the beginning of introducing this tool with your students to do it a little bit inquiry based. 9 times out of 10, kids tell me that this size is worth 1/5 because the previous size was worth 1/4. As I start building and helping kids kind of conceptualize, what shape it is that we're making, you really want them to sort of see how, when I'm placing these pieces on here, what they're noticing. Some kids will say, wait a minute, I know that there is, 2 of these fit in one of these. So what size is that? And so as you start to explore these tools, I would suggest not marking on this tool the actual fraction itself, because you want to make it more exploratory based. The idea of this is that you can change the whole. So if I wanted, instead of making this the whole, I could make my orange the whole. This way I could go ahead and use this to do mixed numbers. So I wanted to say 2 1/4, and I wanted you to take away 2/16. How could you do that? How would you maybe need to use the whole to break it up to kind of subtract? And so it's a really great tool to be able to use, and it's really simple to set up. A lot of times it seems like a great idea to have your kids cut these out. However, sometimes they don't cut nicely and it's kind of a pain. We have a lot of schools that maybe have parent volunteers on PTO, or you might just kind of do a setup with your grade level where you can kind of make and take these area model papers. I like to store these inside of just a clear sleeve so that in the math salad bar, I can fit these in here. I would highly recommend not doing these on construction paper, as construction paper does not fit well in here, and over time it's a little bit more flimsy than cardstock. Using just a binder clip, you can go ahead and clip it and it will slide in there nicely where kids can kind of grab it out. If you felt you needed to, you could label your colored sets. So this might be the A set, and if one of these falls on the floor, somebody could put it in the Misfit tool container, and then it could get put back in the corresponding spot for maybe the person that's in charge of organizing your math salad bar. We're going to start to feature on our website sort of a template for you that you can use that already has the pre-dotted lines for you to go ahead and cut on. If you wanted to have a parent volunteer and we're having a hard time, explaining it, or even if you had older students in 4th or 5th grade that were responsible enough to kind of cut on our line, you could use these kind of guidelines that you need. My recommendation when you do create these is that you pick 5 distinct colors of cardstock. I would make sure that you keep the same color. So if red's going to be your whole, make every kid have red as their whole. If orange is going to be 1/4, then keep the orange all the same. This way, when you're going to talk about the different shapes kids are getting, or different colors, the kids are getting the concepts within fractions. So you might have to kind of just do a little bit of creative thinking. When you go ahead and print the master, you might need to load your photocopier with 15 green cardstock. Go ahead and print out your 16ths. Again, if you're going to go ahead and print your 4ths, put your orange cardstock in so that it prints correspondingly to the colors to kind of help you. I prefer to laminate mine because these took a really long time to create, and so you can use them over and over again each year after it's nice and neat. So if you take a little bit of time to create this particular tool, it will be a tool that I promise you won't want to live without. You can use it as early as 2nd grade, all the way up really through 6th grade. And you can also change different parts from the whole and make a different piece the whole. So it's kind of really a versatile tool. We hope that you join our website and check out other information and other videos on our YouTube channel. Visit us at our website at sis4teachers.org.